All right, thank you for staying with the Daybreak and Citizen TV. We are still giving you wall-to-wall coverage of the BBI. Everyone is still just trying to make heads and tails of what the BBI report is all about. It's currently being launched as we speak at the Bomas of Kenya. 4,700 delegates and leaders are expected there to receive the report officially and have it launched to the public. Several proposals have already been made. Keep your views coming on 22422, that's the SMS line. At Trevor Mbija at Citizen TV Kenya, use the hashtag Daybreak. We'll sample some of your views on what you've learned so far. Are you happy with what you see or not, and why? Speaking of which, let's cross over to Uhuru Wanyambura. Is our reporter from our sister TV station, Inoro TV. He's joining us live from Bomas of Kenya. Uhuru, what's happening right now?
Thank you, Trevor. I can confirm to you that a lot is happening, obviously, but I can confirm to you again that key leaders who've been at the heart of the BBI committee have already made their way to the Bomas auditorium. I can confirm to you that the chairman of the BBI committee, Senator Yusuf Haji, is already in the house. I can also confirm to you that the PS Interior, Dr. Karanja Kibisho, is also around, and a couple of other influential leaders who've been at the center of this. And also what we are coming to learn right now is that there are, apart from leaders, there are other influential organizations, governmental and non-governmental, that have been invited into this forum to make sure that their voice is also heard. And we're going to join one of them, members of the Mwanzo Mpya initiative. Karibuni sana. Kindly tell us your name first, the organization you come from, and the importance of involving non-governmental organizations in this forum.
My name is Charles Mwangi. I'm the chairman for Mwanzo Mpya Vision. And number one, why we are here is because actually we are looking for the BBI as a concept whereby all Kenyans will be invited to be one. And also we are looking to areas whereby the participation of democracy regarding the debates and participation of the talk will be highlighted in many agendas of this nation regarding to the peaceful and unity that are going to give more credentials even to the economic agenda. So we are so grateful to the Excellency of this Republic, President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the Prime Minister Raila Odinga for giving us such a great opportunity that is very imperative to Kenyans to know that Kenya is making a new dawn again, is a new beginning of favor, is a new beginning of unity, is a new beginning of peace. And all of us, we are saying that given chance as leaders of this nation, we are able to embrace more peace more than before. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Do you feel like women have been given their rightful place by the recommendations of this report?
My name is Aisha Mwangi, Director of Mwanzo Mpya. I think we've been given the chance, and as Mwanzo Mpya, we are here to give civic education on the ground to the people, because I think the BBI has been politicized, and we are here to educate people on the ground about BBI and the importance of BBI. Yeah.
The debate has always been, why give women these opportunities other than create a conducive environment for them to be competing with women?
I'll talk about our organization, which we are all-rounded. It's not women alone. We are both genders, women, male and youth. Yeah. We're all rounded for us, yeah.
Good. And finally, what do you expect to come out with from this conference?
I think from the conference, we will be able to learn more what is in the BBI document. Yeah, I think that's what, yeah.
Thank you so much. Trevor, as you can see, it's all color and glamour at the Bomas of Kenya. People coming out representing where they come from. And remember, in this BBI report, there is a recommendation of having the 26th of December being the National Heritage Day, where we will all be coming together to celebrate our cultures. I can see a few leaders here. I think we can grab a few of them. Excuse me, sir. Okay, karibu sana. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Niambie jina lako, and what do you expect to come out with from this conference?
Honorable Sarah Somondi Odhiambo, aka Gearbox Mtambo wa Chuma, MCA Kahawa Ndani Ward, Kiambu County. And we want to say, we want to appreciate this is the day that the Lord has made, and we are ready to receive BBI reports, and we are ready to read it and take it to the mashinani. And our expectation right now, we are having reorganization of government, and it is going to be inclusive. We want everybody to come on board. We want a leadership which is inclusive. We want to disseminate this issue of tribal barrier and everything. Like me, I'm an MCA elected in Kiambu, and I'm a Luo, and that is the first word to bring BBI, the first word to bring down this tribal barrier, a tribal wall. And as I can see, BBI is where Kahawa and Daddy was born.
And you've talked about you having being elected in Kiambu.
Yes.
What are the challenges that you experienced when you are vying for that seat that you would love or you would wish them to be addressed by this one?
Thank you. What the BBI has already addressed many of the issues, and that's why His Excellency the President, decided to come with this BBI thing. I had a lot of challenges before being elected. Somebody from Luo, somebody from Siaya, elected in Kiambu County, a foreign county. It was very difficult for me. There's a lot of tribal linings, but the people of Kiambu, Kahawa and that ward stood firm and said, we want this guy to be our representative. Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I can see the Speaker of the County Assembly of Kiambu, Mr. Stephen Disho. And interestingly, BBI has given some favors to the county government. They have recommended an increment of 35% to 50% of the devolved funds. And we're looking at how people who are the center of devolution are celebrating this increment. Karibu sana, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
First things first, what do you make of the increment of devolved funds?
First things first, we are very excited that finally the government has agreed, or this process has agreed, that the devolution units be considered by increasing the revenue to that 5%. This will bring tremendous development progress in the counties and in the grassroots. And this is a time when Jiko will now benefit from devolution. Because when we litigated and agitated for devolution, there was some kind of opposition from the mainstream government. But we are very happy that the government has now agreed that more money should go to the counties. Actually, 35% is the start. We from CAF, or County Assemblies Forum, are even agitating for 45%. Because the bulk of the work that is done in the villages is done by members of the Assembly, MCAs and members of Parliament. Little is done from the central government. So 45% will be our ultimate goal, so that the central government gets 55% and the county government get 45%. But for now, 35% is a good indicator that we are headed for the better areas.
And therein lies the bigger question: how do we ensure that county assemblies are beyond reproach when it comes to auditing these funds?
Well, the county assemblies, and I'm the speaker of Kiambu, and we have said in no uncertain terms that from now on, business will be not usual again. The oversight role will be enhanced. Every cent will be accounted for. The executive must account for every shilling that it has received from the central government and account for every shilling that has been collected from their own revenue collection basis. Yes. So time for stealing money actually must be declared has come to an end, has come to a great final. Like my assembly in Kiambu, I've told them we have agreed that now is the time to say enough is enough. And we are going to increase our oversight role and representation and legislation. So I want to assure especially the people from Kiambu that your assembly from now on I'll make sure that everything will be accounted for. Every money, every shilling have to be accounted for. That is the role of the speaker, that is the role of MCAs, and we have agreed that that is what they are going to do. Yeah. So I want to tell the people of Kiambu, rest assured, things have changed. It is now a new dawn.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Finally, Mr. Speaker, in the build-up to the release of this report, yes, there has been a heated wave of political debate about it at the central region. Yes. Is it going to come down the mountain?
Well, this is what I said from the beginning. Let us not fight over a document that is like a pregnancy. You cannot argue about the baby which is going to be born. This is the day that the baby is going to be born. And once this baby is born today, we shall interrogate it, we shall look at it. After that, we shall now come out again and give our own opinions. And I have even asked the president, and I was reminding him of 2010, what happened with the 2010 constitution. There were 20% that had contentious approach from people. And the then president said, let us pass this constitution and then we shall address the 20%. So if there shall be some percentages of some issues that shall be contentious in this BBI, let the president allow and agree that Kenyans look at them and they be re-looked at, so that we have got a 100% document that is accepted by all Kenyans. But so far so good. Let us wait for the launch of the document. Let us read it for about a week or two. Let us revisit the document after you have all read. But you cannot condemn something you have not seen.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Maybe finally, Trevor, I could tag in Mheshimiwa Caleb Kositany in this debate. As town supporter of the Deputy President, you've seen recommendations of the BBI report. What do you make of them?
Well, I think the recommendations are very good. So far, we have seen that there were two forces that were marketing the BBI report. There was a force that wanted to force it down the throats of Kenyans with the tsunami language and all. And then there was the force of the president who wanted a reconciliatory approach, an approach that whereby we produce a document that all Kenyans will have a chance to look at and add in their other views for those whose views were not captured. And I think it's a very good document, and that is why we are here. We embrace the idea and we want to move forward.
Well, you guys have been opposing this debate. Why the change of heart right now?
Well, we were opposing it because of the way it was being marketed by some circles. As I said earlier, we were told there's a tsunami, there's going to sweep the taka and all that kind of negative language and bad language. And I always say that you can have a very good product, but a very poor marketer. We have seen that there was a section that was did very poor marketing, but the product is good. So we're here to embrace it and we move forward as Kenyans.
Do you probably have specific recommendations that have led to the change of heart?
Well, not really. We have seen that the recommendations are things that even can be done without necessarily having to go for a referendum, because we know the economic times that we are going through as Kenyans. And I think so far, so good. Let's embrace it as Kenyans and move forward. We take it from there.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Trevor, my brother, for speaking good English and for working for Citizen TV, my brother Sam Gituku gives me an A+, some good grade to take to my parent. I hand it over to him now. Thank you so much.
Oh my God, that's pretty interesting that you should say that. It's also flattering. Please hold this. So Trevor, we continue with this coverage of the BBI report as you expect the president and of course the other leaders to arrive at the Bomas of Kenya to continue with this. I just want to take a look at some of the views that the leaders who are getting to this location have. I want to speak to Jeanette Mohammed. He is the Member of Parliament for Suna East. So we see the report. I mean, are there any surprises?
I think the report has by and large captured the thoughts of Kenyans, the aspirations of Kenyans, because the committee went around the country and took, but this is the beginning of a process.
Okay.
As they said yesterday, the leaders at State House, where they're receiving the report, that this report is going to be subjected to public debate. So there's still more views that can come. There's still improvement that can be done. But by and large now, we are happy with what has come out.
Okay.
Because we really want to get a document that will unite the Kenyan people. Yeah.
And of course, the proposal, the suggestion that there should be a position of a prime minister from the majority party, and the first runners-up is nominated to parliament, or appointed, picked to parliament to be the leader of the opposition. Does this cure the challenge you've had of inclusivity?
Of course, yes. You see, Kenyans have been complaining of this government being formed by two tribes. The president and the deputy president. Now, when you have other positions that are going to be occupied preferably by different communities, it will create some inclusivity. So you look at these 7 years now, this duo, leadership. So that is what Kenyans are running away from. So whichever name you call it, whether you call it a prime minister or His Highness, whatever you call him, Kenyans require to be on the table. Different communities must be on the table to discuss agenda of this country. So for those of us who believe in inclusivity, we feel they have stretched a bit as we needed it.
And finally, how soon should it be fixed?
I think soonest, because we cannot go to the next general election with the way we are now. We must go to the next general election in a different manner.
And what will it take?
It will take for us to, if we are going to change constitutional issues, we will change. If there are statutes to be changed in Parliament, we will change. If there are administrative actions to be taken, we will change. If a referendum is to be done, we will do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
We will do it.
Oh, all right. Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa Junet Mohammed from Suna East, talking to us about his views. I want us to speak to Jeremiah Kioni. This is the Member of Parliament for Ndaragwa. And recently, we had a conversation with you in studio, and you were talking about the situation that the Mount Kenya region had specific issues that they wanted addressed in the BBI report. Do you feel that this has been achieved?
One of them was the issue of one man, one vote, and I think it has been addressed by the fact that we are not changing the way we will be electing our president. But we are also happy to see that there is an introduction of the Prime Minister's position, because it is important to have the Prime Minister included. It will help in the delivery of services in the country. It will help in the way the executive functions. By and large, I think we can see a BBI that will help us move forward.
Okay.
I must say that I expected a little bit more radical changes. I don't see in it, but you can't do everything one day. Okay. We hope that we can deal with other issues a little later. What
are some of those radical changes you're expecting that have not been addressed?
I thought we would be looking at the size of Parliament, for example. The number of members of Parliament, the sizes of the constituencies. I thought those are some of the difficult issues that require the whole country to come together and agree that if we talk about constituencies and how unequal they are, that requires that consensus that had been done by BBI.
And finally, for now, so the other suggestions, some of them would require review of the law, maybe the constitution. Yes. How best do you think it will be to go about it, bearing in mind that there's still a level of divided opinion on different issues?
One, and I'm sure by the end of the day this will even be better, but it appears like the issue of the referendum is not central in the changes that are being proposed. It's like many of the changes that we would want done are changes that can be done through an act of Parliament, others can be done through administrative process. The one that may require a referendum is the one where we're introducing a Prime Minister in Parliament, but I believe that even legislation, simple registration can address that issue when all parties are working together. But I also don't see why we should have a division on these issues.
But how possible would it be to get a two-thirds majority on all this?
It is possible. I think the issues that some quarters were fearful of have been addressed by the fact that nobody has been given a highway to State House. It is everybody must work. This is good for us as a country.
All right. Thank you so much. Jeremiah Kioni is the Member of Parliament for Ndaragwa constituency. Of course, he has been very vocal as far as the representation of the views from the Mount Kenya region. There are some people who've been hanging around the politicians. I don't know what you have to say. You're saying that a youth leader from Fort Kenya. What do you feel?
First of all, thank you. I'm Eyase Brian Eyase, Fort Kenya youth leader. I'm here to participate in this constitutional moment. First of all, I expected a lot of radical and a more stronger tsunami that a section of politicians this country promised. But from the provisional document that we have received from the media, it's evident that this is a balanced document that was arrived at out of consensus. And I think majority of Kenyans and majority of leaders in this country are going home happy. Just to point out a few sections that maybe I really welcome. I really welcome the proposal that we have to inculcate the office of the official opposition in the National Assembly. And because, the first runners-up in any presidential election is somebody that cannot be wished away. Somebody garnering more than 5 million votes in this country is a very pertinent and very important strong figure in this country.
Of course, there are so many views, bearing in mind that there are 45 million Kenyans. There would obviously be the same amount of opinions on different issues. We will continue to talk to different leaders on what they think, even as they make their way to the Bomas of Kenya to witness that opportunity that the president will be unveiling the BBI report. I just wish you could go up and be in a position to look at the visitors or the guests who are coming on this side. Of course, a very divisive divisive process it had been, but now we understand that the report, most of the leaders are speaking and saying that it well represents a balanced view of several issues. The point that they are insisting on is that these are changes that can be effected via Parliament, that is an amendment of the Constitution through Parliament that would require 2/3 majority. So we'll continue to look for views and bring them to you, Trevor, as soon as we can, and of course also listening to the citizens who are sitting on the other side of Bomas of Kenya. They are under a tent. They'll be watching the proceedings from the auditorium, which is on my left, from the screens that are there, Trevor.
Thanks, Sam. You're absolutely right, like you just suggested. Let's go up to where you're talking about. And Raquel Mugai is there with the latest from the people who are also expecting a lot from the BBI report. There's a preliminary report that people already know what's there. Let's hear their sentiments from the ground on the other side of Bomas. Raquel Mugai is joining us live. Raquel, over to you. All right, Raquel Mugai will be joining us in just a bit. She's at the Bomas of Kenya. Now, I want to take you through some proposals that have been raised by the BBI. They're on the other side of the studio, where I have a long list of the proposals that have been made. But before I do that, let's cross over back to Raquel Mugai. She's standing by at the Bomas of Kenya. Raquel?
Here at the Bomas of Kenya, actually, just from the crowd behind me, it's very interesting to note that these people are very eager to understand what exactly this BBI report entails, what exactly it means for them, and the repercussions that they will also have to, the repercussions that will come from this. But it is interesting to note from this one friend that I've made here, who has this clothing with the Kenyan flag and also with a bag. Kindly tuonyeshe hii bag imeandikwa tumekujia BBI. Tafadhali tueleze majina yako, umetoka wapi, na kwanza ni kwa nini ukajivaa vile ambavyo umejivaa?
Kwa majina yangu naitwa Paul Maina Zenga from Murang'a County, Gatanga Sub County. Nimekuja hapa sababu nimekujia hii BBI na ninajua mambo ya BBI itasaidia mwananchi ule ako chini kabisa. Yeah.
Na sijui kama umeweza kutangamana na hiyo ripoti, labda katika magazeti ambayo umeweza kusoma ama kusikiza runinga ya Citizen, ni nini ambacho labda umepata ama umeguzia ama ukasikia kuhusu ripoti hiyo?
Jana ndio nilisikia ripoti ya BBI, alafu tukasoma kidogo na tena kwa gazeti ya leo mambo ya BBI iko hapo.
Kuna masuala, kuna zile vipengee vikuu ambavyo umependekeza kwamba kutakuwa na kiongozi wa upinzani, kutakuwa pia na prime minister, hiyo ikiwa ni position ambayo haikuwepo ama imekuwepo mara moja pekee. Labda wewe unahisiaje kama Mkenya kuhusiana na mabadiliko hayo ama mapendekezo hayo, na ni vipi ambavyo unaona itaweza kubadilisha taswira ya siasa humu nchini?
Mambo ya prime minister, kusema ukweli, inatakiwa iwe, kwa sababu hiyo ndio itakuwa inaangalia vile minister zinaendelea. Na ni vizuri kusema ukweli. Wakati tulikuwa na prime minister, kulikuwa na watu, saa nyingine watu wanaongea mambo ya BBI, tukusema ni watu wanatafutiwa kazi. Kuna mtu anatafutiwa kazi, kazi ikiwa mingi inaongezewa watu. Yeah.
Na kwa vile sasa hujaweza kutangamana nayo, ni nini kama Mkenya ambapo ukienda kukaa chini na ripoti hiyo ungetaka iguzie haswa, kwa sababu ni masuala ambayo ina affect wa Kenya sisi, ni nini ambacho ungetaka sana ikuwe imeguzia?
Sawa, mambo ya BBI, ile kitu mimi natakiwa iwe ndani ni kuangalia mambo ya mwananchi ule ako chini kabisa, kwa sababu mambo kama ya kahawa, mambo kama ya majani chai, kuangalia, yani mwananchi aangaliwe sana, kwa sababu mwananchi ako chini sana, amefinyiliwa sana, kusema kweli. Yeah.
Asante sana, asante sana. That is just one of the Kenyans there sharing his opinions, and basically even just from his patriotic clothing. But it's also good to get from this from other Kenyans as well, and youths. Asante sana. Just kindly move forward. Tell us your name and where you come from, and tell us from your interaction with whatever little that you've read from the report, what exactly stands out for you.
Thank you. My name is Kennedy Gakere from Moya, Kirinyaga County. So BBI is a complex narrative to many young Kenyans. Let us be honest. So my main concern is about youth engagement in government. So I would campaign for an active, a working youth department straight from the national government, because I've been in the industry, I'm an entrepreneur myself, and I want to see it working for my fellow brothers out there. So much is being lost. I have friends that used to be icons, but now they are just burnt out because of drug abuse, lack of jobs, things like those.
As an entrepreneur, as you say, there's something that probably you've read and stands out for you, or probably something that is raising some sort of concern. And what is that thing? Because you, as we spoke earlier, you mentioned something about the 7-year holiday tax.
Taxation, it's a major problem. Well, we don't have access to capital. Then when you start your business, you are subject to heavy taxation. So if whatever they're saying about 7 years holiday doesn't mean that I'm not going to be taxed for at least 7 years of operating my small-scale business. That is the kind of clarity we need. And that is why I came here to source information. So as I go back home, I need to preach the right gospel. Yeah.
And it's due diligence to you as also a Kenyan. But tungependa pia kusikia kutoka kwako. Tueleze majina yako, umetoka eneo gani humu nchini, na ni nini ambacho umeweza kutangamana nayo ikakufurahisha ama ikakutia wasiwasi kidogo?
Asante sana. Kwa majina ni David Lupembe, nimetoka Kajiado County. Kenye kimenifurahisha kwa BBI ni hii mambo na Prime Minister, na tena hiyo ofisi ya opposition nayo wanafungua. So hiyo maneno yote ni kama imenifurahisha, na tena kama watakuwa na kazi kwa vijana itakuwa mzuri. Itakuwa nimefurahi kabisa. Yeah.
Na kuna mapendekezo ambayo wamesema kwamba 5% of zile ambazo fedha zitapatikana after corruption cases zimemalizika zitakuwa zikizawadiwa wale watu ambao walipata kufichua siri hizi, whistleblowers. Wewe kama Mkenya unaona kama hiyo ni kitu ambayo inaweza kufanyika, ni kitu ambayo itachangia kumalizana na hii swala la ufisadi humu nchini?
Ndio, ni muhimu, ni mzuri sana hiyo, lakini shida ni hiyo 5%. Najua kila mtu atakuwa nang'ang'ana naye apate hiyo pesa. Sasa itakuwa, kwa maoni yangu, si mzuri sana, lakini itakuwa inasaidia kufichua hiyo ufisadi. Juu tutakuwa tunang'ang'ana kutafuta hao watu ndio at least upate kitu, na tena utakuwa unanyamazia. Yeah.
Asante sana, asante. But it's also good to get the comments from a lady. At least we've had the men speak, their youths and their concerns. Kindly move here, kindly move closer, represent the women in the country. Tell us where you come from, your name, and basically if you've interacted with the BBI report up until this point, what stands out for you?
My name is Ida Kuria. I come from Tana River County. So far the BBI is not that bad, but we would like to see it implement what it's saying. Because in the real life, it's even written in the constitution, but it's not followed. So this is, let it not be like we are just coming here to make like something be known or make someone public, like someone be known popularly, but not implement what is there. It might be good, like the seven years of rest, like the taxation. It's very healthy for youths because most of us are trying to raise in the entrepreneurship. But you find the taxation becomes higher on us. So the 7 years is not bad, but they have to implement it. Yeah.
And also let's look at the corruption. Corruption is a big menace here in the country. And there are a lot of things that they've proposed there, having to improve the EACC, what exactly it does, its mandate, from changing it to do economic and corruption crimes only, away from the ethics bit, and also rewarding 5% of whatever is got from these corruption cases to whistleblowers. What do you think about that?
Personally, I think it's a good thing. But what I said from the word go, we have to implement what's there. Because even if you see in most cases, we see people being caught, like they have really been caught with those issues. But after 5 years, like 5 days of being imprisoned, they are out. So at the end of the day, you become, the whistleblower becomes like, he did nothing. But in real life, corruption has really brought us down. Like we see in like almost every part of Kenya, corruption has become a big issue. So fighting it is not bad, and I wish I get that 5%.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It will be good to, and you can just listen from the crowd here. They all want to just chip in and say something about the BBI report. But we will also be getting time to have your comments said and have your opinions shared here in the country. But from now, this is what we have, and it's just evident that this BBI report means a lot to the Kenyans. It's not just a political issue or a political stand, but also it means a lot to the Kenyans who are going to be affected by this particular report that's set to unify the country.
Thanks, Raquel. Raquel Mugai, they're speaking to us just outside of Bomas of Kenya. And like she has promised, we'll get in as much of your voice as possible to talk about this national discussion that's happening right now. The BBI report is being launched officially to the public. Interrogate it and let us know your thoughts. At Citizen TV Kenya will sample them throughout this broadcast, including during the seminar Citizen Time, and also live from those people who are at the Bomas of Kenya. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll still take you back to the Bomas of Kenya to speak to a wide range of people on those same issues.